New poll, Trump beats DeSantis, Pence, Haley, Rubio, and Cruz combined for GOP primary. Antifa terrorist who urged retaliation against cops is brand ambassador who worked for Les Mills. Trump's niece says this Republican representative is actually Speaker of the House, not Kevin McCarthy. I have info on everyone, Trump's concerning new Mar-a-Lago claims. I got a case of the giggles from reading these 20 tweets about relationships and dating.
This is breaking news.
I'm Erin Burnett in Washington.
New poll, Trump beats DeSantis, Pence, Haley, Rubio, and Cruz combined for GOP primary. A new poll out this week shows former President Donald Trump with more support than several of his next closest possible 2024 GOP primary opponents combined, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Trump beat the competition in a hypothetical 8-way primary, in the latest Harvard Capps-Harris poll of Republican voters reported by The Hill this week. With 48% of Republican respondents calling Trump their first choice to be the GOP nominee, he finished with more than the combined individual preferences for DeSantis, 28%, former Vice President Mike Pence, 7%, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, 3%, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley, 3%, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz, 1%. That's 20% more than his next closest competitor in DeSantis. He also boasted a 10-point lead over DeSantis in a hypothetical head-to-head primary matchup, and 5-point lead over Biden in a general election rematch. Trump lost the popular vote to Biden by 5.5 points in the 2020 presidential election. In spite of the promising showing, experts say it shouldn't be taken as a guarantee that Trump will ultimately prevail. Related video, GOP rivalry brewing between Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, CBS News. Mark Penn, the co-director of the Harvard Capps-Harris poll survey, said that while Trump may have the edge right now, he's largely maxed out his potential for growth. DeSantis, meanwhile, has shown that he has the potential to widen his base of support. Penn told The Hill that although Trump is ahead, his ceiling is limited because he already has every vote he can get. DeSantis is the candidate of potential, he argued. Evidence for Penn's analysis can be found in the Trump and DeSantis's net favorability ratings. The two GOP frontrunners were both viewed favorably by 45% of respondents, but only 32% have an unfavorable opinion of DeSantis, while 48% expressed an unfavorable opinion of Trump. Other polls have indicated that the race between Trump and DeSantis is tighter, with some even showing DeSantis in the driver's seat in a two-man race. Antifa terrorist who urged retaliation against cops is brand ambassador who worked for Les Mills. An Antifa terrorist who was arrested during a raid that left a protester dead and a Georgia state trooper seriously injured is a brand ambassador who worked for fitness guru Les Mills. Sarah Wasilewski, 35, was one of 7 activists arrested at the future $90 million Atlanta Public Safety Training Center in a clearing operation on Wednesday. Self-confessed brand ambassador Wasilewski appears to have traveled from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with her boyfriend and fellow extremist Spencer Liberto, 29. Liberto and another native Pennsylvanian Matt Makar, 30, along with Jeffrey Parson, 20, of Baltimore, Timothy Murphy, 25, of Maine, Christopher Reynolds, 31, of Ohio, and Tereshu Shin, 31, of New York were all arrested on domestic terrorism charges. Wasilewski was charged with domestic terrorism and aggravated assault of an officer, and follows extremist accounts on Twitter which were calling for the murder of cops following the shooting. The University of Pittsburgh graduate appears to have only been at the autonomous zone with Liberto for a number of weeks according to her social media. It is unclear if Liberto, a longtime left-wing radicalist, or Wasilewski have any links with Matt Makar, who is also from Pennsylvania. She previously worked as an income maintenance county caseworker for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania before traveling to support the Antifa movement, leaving her $200,000 home behind. Prior to that, she was a group fitness instructor for Les Mills US for 2 years until the pandemic. Wasilewski studied a bachelor's in communication and rhetoric at the University of Pittsburgh before traveling to the University of New South Wales for a study abroad group. There she went on several environmental tree planting trips, though it is unclear when she was radicalized and started supporting the movement. She also worked as a patient liaison for the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh UPMC for 3 years. Both Liberto and Wasilewski regularly post loved-up snaps of them on social media, often spending weekends outside but don't appear to have publicly supported Antifa before. Since June 2021, Antifa and other far-left extremists from across the U.S. have occupied the area to prevent the construction of what they've dubbed Cop City. It comes after Manuel Esteban Páez Terán, 26, was shot dead after allegedly opening fire at a Georgia State Patrol trooper during a clearing operation. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations, GBI, said a Georgia State Patrol trooper was shot and severely injured during the raid by a man camped in the area. Officers returned fire and killed the gunman, who allegedly used a pistol. During the multi-agency operation, GBI said approximately 25 campsites were located and removed from the site. Additionally, mortar-style fireworks, multiple edged weapons, pellet rifles, gas masks, and a blowtorch were recovered. 3 people contacted in connection with the materials were asked to provide their names to authorities and then let go. Activists previously called for a night of rage and bloodshed against the police following the shooting, threatening to enact reciprocal violence against the authorities. In a statement posted on social media, the scenes from the Atlanta Forest account said, "A call for retaliation. Consider this a call for reciprocal violence to be done to the police and their allies." On Friday, January 20th, wherever you are invited to participate in a night of rage in order to honor the memory of our fallen comrade. In several posts sweeping social media, they claim that the police are lying and refusing to release body cam footage of the incident. They are also angrily rejecting claims that the protester who was killed shot at police first, and even claim that the trooper was shot in friendly fire. Some anonymous members of the Atlanta Forest Defenders appeared in an Open Society Foundation-sponsored story about the autonomous zone in The Guardian. George Soros is the chairman of the OSF, and has given away more than $32 billion of his personal fortune to fund the group. Soros is one of the world's best-known philanthropists, and is also known for funding many of the woke district attorneys whose policies have been blamed for soaring violent crime across the U.S. In May, 8 militants were arrested after police patrolling the land were assaulted and pelted with rocks and Molotov cocktails. 5 people were arrested on December 13 for allegedly plotting terror attacks at the soon-to-be police academy. Serena Hurdle, 25, of California, Leonard Wazell, 20, of Macon, Georgia, Nicholas Dean Olson, 25, of Bennington, Nebraska, Francis M. Carroll, 22, of Kennebunkport, Maine, and R. Ian Robinson, 21, of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, were arrested. DailyMail.com previously revealed that Carroll is the son of surgeon Dr. Mike Carroll and grew up in a $2 million 5-bedroom and 4-bathroom mansion in Kennebunkport, as well as enjoying time on his parents' yacht. Left-wing groups used Twitter to fundraise bail for suspects after another 6 were arrested in August, charged with various crimes from burglary to criminal damage. Members of the group tried to burn a man to death after he drove into the area, and he was forced to run for his life after they torched it with him still in it. After their members were arrested, the Defend the Atlanta Forest group held a protest outside of DeKalb County Jail and let off explosive fireworks. The Atlanta Jail Support, a project of the Atlanta Solidarity Fund, also issued calls to fundraise bail money for the terror suspects using Twitter. Convictions of domestic terrorism carry with it sentences of anywhere between 5 and 35 years in prison.